We have Fly against FoCuS. Fly, of course, in the blue in the top left. And in the top right, we have FoCuS in the red, and I'm joined by Remo the Demo Man. How you doing, buddy?
Doing excellent. Looking forward to the next game here. Our fourth and final one for Asia today. The first mirror, and it's Orc Mirror. One of my favorite mirror matchups, I have to say. I feel like there's always options for innovation. There's always options to be aggressive and force a fight. Some mirrors can be a little dull at times in the beginning, especially by an Orc Mirror. There's always something possible. It seems like there's always something crackling. And who would know that better than you, being an Orc player yourself?
Yeah, there's a lot more variability today, and we're already seeing that from FoCuS. We're seeing the Farseer Headhunters, and we actually, from Fly on the other end, we saw a 2-burrow opening with a shop at a really weird location. So as you point out perfectly, both players are doing some wacky stuff this game.
Cool to see. It's a new style. They're going to try it out, man. They're going to try it out. See if it fits, see if it feels good, and we'll be able to judge how well it does. Farseer Headhunters, it has been part of the meta game on ladder for a long, long time. It was Kiwikaki pioneering it, Grubby bringing it to the big stage, Lin trying it last, WGL, they're failing, but it seems like it's back in rotation again, and we saw it earlier working out very well by namely Lin when he was able to defeat Infi with a 2-0. So Farseer Headhunters here, you being pretty close to Hitman, I'm sure you guys have had many discussions before. What do you have to pay attention to? What's important? How can you beat this style? And is this Farseer Headhunter style still as unreliable and gimmicky as many players claim?
Right. Yeah, I don't think it's a gimmick at all anymore, really. One thing you have to look out for as the Blade Master player is when to take fights. You want to very early get that level 3 Shadow Hunter on tier 2, and then you want to take either a clean timing when you get level 3 Shadow Hunter, take a nice fight with your 50 supply tier 2 army, or you ideally want to go into tier 3 and get some sort of Tauren army with Master Spirit Walkers behind it. But if you don't end the game early and you don't get to tier 3, you're very much on the back seat against Farseer Headhunters, and this is a cool build from Fly. I think the 2-burrow was not only to take this mercenary camp, but also to deny a potential other Blade Master from the side of FoCuS from canceling the 2nd burrow, which is very common on Echo Isles.
Yeah, this is really cool. I've definitely never seen this opening in Orc Mirror on this map before. Seems like Fly did his homework and wanted to come in with something specifically prepared. You know, earlier we talked about the Orc Legends, Lin being one of them, Fly being one of them, but at the moment it's actually FoCuS, highest up there in the ELO rankings. He was able to have a wonderful couple of weeks here recently. In December he won the Huya, in January he won WSB, he got 2nd place in Zelos Red, he got 3rd and 4th in Yule Cup. In the CNY tournament it was only 5th to 8th. Also the Rust Brain in December went to him. So lots of good results recently for him. Of course also in Anaheim he took 2nd place, and in the DreamHack Summer season he also took 2nd place. FoCuS, it oftentimes seems like in online tournaments he performs the best, but as I said also in Anaheim he did really well. And yeah, he is willing to go into this Headhunter style, playing it with a Farseer. I have seen before by Lin playing a TC 2nd, trying to take advantage of the strength of Stomp. Is that a possibility here, or do you want to stick with Shadowhunter rather, accompanying the Blade?
Yeah, I think typically it will be Shadowhunter 2nd, but, you know, Tauren Chieftain 2nd could be kind of interesting. As you pointed out earlier, there's a lot of room for innovation from both players, and, you know, a lot of room for the Blade Master now with the double claws to actually pick off 2 Headhunters already. And this is what I'm talking about. You have to pick off these units early so that you can enable yourself to either have space to go to tier 3 or to hit a clean tier 2 timing as the Blade Master player. But yeah, I'm interested to see if Fly changes anything up in the tier 2 department. Will it be a Tauren Chieftain potentially? Will it be maybe a quick tier 3 instead of Bestiary Tauren Totem? We'll have to wait and see.
Shadow coming out right away with the Lodge.
Oh, okay.
What?
That's new. That's very new. Interesting. Grunt Shaman?
Like against Wolves you would want to have Disenchant pretty quickly, but I guess with a Shaman you have the D-Spool faster. And we have a Fire Lord in the middle. Farseer Fire Lord, guys. It is high up there right now in popularity. Get the stonks ready. It is all the rage. We have seen it in the group stage quite a bit already. It was played by Soin, I believe. And yeah, the Orcs, they just keep on innovating.
Yeah, I guess the Spirit Lodge is kind of a call-out almost from Fly, because he got it before he saw the Fire Lord, but of course having that early purge, as opposed to having to wait for the disenchant from the Spirit Walkers, is very good against a Fire Lord all-in. And that's probably what we're going to be seeing. I imagine it won't be a passive game from FoCuS. He's going to be looking for some sort of timing.
How hard is he going to commit for that? Oh, the one of Mana Steel almost lands this Blade Master in a surround. That would have been the kill on the Blade and a very painful mid-game for Fly. But with that map control that FoCuS has right now, he doesn't have to go all in necessarily. It's oftentimes, or at least let's say sometimes, good enough to just soak up the map, creep like crazy. But FoCuS is definitely pushing right here. He's looking to do some damage. And this Shadowhunter so far not looking too impressive. Holding on to the skill point still. Getting pressured here. May have to be Heal Wave first.
You have to be Heal Wave or potentially go for a Hex on the Fire Lord and go for a kill, but that is, of course, very risky. Luckily for Fly, he's already got the Abolish on that Priest he got earlier from the Mercenary Camp. The first Shaman is going to be out just about now. The shop, it's a little bit out of position, but luckily it's not going to be focused by these Headhunters anytime soon. The Burrow, however, will maybe go down, but it's very nicely positioned while it is up. First Kodo coming in, so this is a Headhunter Kodo. Sort of all in, but there's no towers. This is some wacky stuff from FoCuS, but so far so good.
Yeah, super fun to see. I was getting ready for some Blade Master action, you know, Radar Walker, the good old stuff, but hells no. We're seeing more and more innovation and unusual strategies. I just looked it up a second ago. By the way, this is only the second Blade Master game so far in this tournament.
Wow.
Everything else has been Farseer only, with a lot of Headhunters involved. Alright, here we go. This is of course a crucial moment in this game. How much damage is this pressure play gonna deal? Purge aggressively against the Kodo. Of course, it's not just good for dispelling and taking out summons, also to be used aggressively to slow down the move speed. Takes out the Kodo, but that took a lot of commitment by Fly, who's also starting to lose some grunts himself.
A couple of Headhunters getting low. The Blade Master is such a beast this game, but takes a lot of damage. Has to force a Windwalk, and here come the towers. And what you want to do as Fly here is you want to consistently cancel these towers. The Lumber's pretty good for FoCuS, but it won't last too long. And if those towers do get up, the Blade Master player is going to be in very, very dire straits. But right now, the Heal Wave is going to help out. The Burrow might fall, I think. FoCuS should continue to focus that, and he is going to do so. And that's a big pick-off.
Supply blocked for now. He doesn't have that much gold. I guess he can go for a Burrow in the back. Are these towers going to come up? Blade Master, though, going after the Farseer, and that one might just be going down in the corner. The Farseer must have fallen right there. No TP.
Oh my God,
last second. 10 HP TP, just barely makes it out of there. Seems like every hero just barely surviving, but FoCuS will be forced back. Fly holds on, defends his base, and, well, we sort of called it an all-in earlier. Was it a complete all-in, or is there some sort of transition possible for FoCuS?
3 Kodos is kind of hard. You're pretty much tied down to this bestiary, you know, barracks. You can't transition much into walkers. You can't really go into tier 3 with triple Kodo. And when those boys are hungry, they're not getting much value on the map. So FoCuS is going to pull peons again. He's pulling the boys and he's going again. But the Blade Master of Fly, beautifully seeing everything.
It's almost level 4, by the way. I don't know if you're aware of this, but I am a big fan of Mirror Image. Although I guess he doesn't really need it since there's no Entangle or anything. But it still looks kind of swag. Blade Master with that level 4 does opt for the crit, though. He wants to have a little bit more damage with the claws. Understandable. Third claw now for him, soon to be added. That is currently on the Shadowhunter, who is also very close to his own level 3. He lost the Burrow, but importantly, he still has that shop in the south, which was so brilliantly placed, like calling back to the early game. It couldn't really get taken out with this push.
Yeah, that's really nice. It's more than one thing gained from that shop. It's always safe to these all-ins, and maybe that's the point, not just, oh, the Fire Lord's actually going to fall. What a hex. And now there's Purge on all the Kodos, and this is not a winnable fight for FoCuS. He's just going to lose one unit after the next. The Wolves are putting in work in the back and maybe going to secure FoCuS a couple of kills, and the Kodo is hungry, and the Kodo has eaten. But there's an ensnare, and I think this is Fly's game 1.
More ensnares, more purges, there will be more kills going towards Fly. This guy's army in position, he can cancel the towers there. There was still plenty of time, but he doesn't seem to be fearful of this army anymore. The Wolves, seemingly the most scary part of this army, with there being so little dispel, but the heroes so strong now. The Blade level 4, almost with the surround. Does he have it? On the Farseer, he sure does.
Master.
Oh, with the Windwalk, he just barely gets out. Does he have the guts to chase? No. Fly's gonna play it safe, gonna fall back. He wants to make it back to the shop. Clarities, mana potions, and some juicy heal waves.
Well, this shop is just game-winning. Imagine a world in which Fly just loses the shop at the front of his base earlier in the game. You know, when the towers were first going up on that first push with the Fire Lord that came out of the tavern freshly. If the shop goes down, there's no healing for this blade, no clarities for the Shadow Hunter. It could have been a different game, but the shop has just been so safe and so crucial the entire game for Fly that he's held on. He lost a couple of units, and that surround was maybe biting off more than he could chew. But it seems he's in the driver's seat. But FoCuS is maybe just going to go again. Do you just go for the 4th tower rush? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if once you don't succeed, try again. That is usually the way you have to play it with an all-in. You can't transition to a normal game. You don't have the backbone set up in terms of heroes and army to actually go to 50, 60, 70 supply with heal scrolls and so on. But FoCuS is going to take a little step back. He's going to creep up a tiny bit more. But this Blade Master, without Hex, it's just so easy for him to just harass, scout, do a bit of damage to his heart's content, especially if the Raider Cone is left.
Yeah, and there's also no Soul Burn from FoCuS. It's Incinerate and Lava Spawn, so there's no potential really with only that one Raider that you pointed out to get a Blade Master kill. Although if he pops now, he's got no mana for a Windwalk either way, so maybe just scouting is the Blade. But the Shadow Hunter actually going to get level 4 from the shop at the south. But maybe level 3 Fire Lord can start to put in some work. Maybe if the Farseer can get to level 5 for FoCuS, the Summon Harass can really put in some work as well. Maybe buy enough time for FoCuS to go to tier 3, get Berserkers, get upgraded Kodos. There maybe is some potential if the hero levels are there for FoCuS.
A big issue for FoCuS here playing this unusual style is he has absolutely no way of dispelling. No Purge, no Disenchant. So this Hex cannot be dispelled. It's a level 2 Hex, which lasts forever on units, and also a really long time on heroes. Throw a Speed Scroll and Ensnare on top, and those heroes could die very fast, especially considering the Farseer and the Fire Lord are rather frail. But okay, FoCuS gonna engage into a fight again in the middle, but the Wolves now getting Purged. Seems like Shaman numbers are good again. Blade Master's coming in. What's the target? Well, no target currently. Seems like Retreat is gonna be the call. But look at that, the Blade just can trade against these Raiders. He doesn't have to commit with his full army.
It seems as though FoCuS is doing pretty well in these fights, and he is actually trading efficiently. I just don't see a world in which FoCuS should be winning these fights, but somehow he is, and we see at the north of the map that there's more peons moving over. So if at first you don't succeed, try again, apparently. And the towers are going to be coming up again, and maybe at least a Voodoo Lounge for FoCuS. But these fights, there's the illusions. It's not mirror image, but at least some illusions in the front to tank. And Lightning Shield on top is going to help out quite a bit, but it seems FoCuS has a bigger army right now.
Blade Master ensnared, locked down for the time being. There's not too much Purge remaining, by the way, for Fly, so he's going to have to rely perhaps more on Ensnare to lock down these targets. But so many of these Headhunters hurt, and that's the problem when you don't have any kind of heal wave. You have to rely on heal scrolls only to heal, and he doesn't have those either. Fly stole them earlier. More and more kills going Fly's way. Level 5 Blade Master. We now have the level 3 crit, and we're just waiting for the big red numbers. 200 already. But again, damage towards the Blade is significant, so Fly has to be careful. And by the way, he hasn't lost his Blade Master yet.
Hasn't lost it yet, and there's been a couple of close calls. The towers were not built for FoCuS, and good for him because, you know, they would have been canceled right exactly now. Fly is now in favor of Fly. A couple of hidden towers, lacking reinforced defenses, but, you know, hidden nonetheless. And now FoCuS is retreating back home. What's his follow-up? Is he maybe going to wait for those towers? He is getting reinforced defenses now. If those 2 towers get up unscouted by Fly, is that enough for FoCuS to finally win a fight once and for all?
Feels like it's getting harder and harder by the minute. Blade now being level 5 is going to have tons of damage. On the way home, FoCuS also didn't get any of the items from the merchant. So once again, Fly could go for an invul, could go for a heal scroll. I suppose invul perhaps more important to protect this Blade. And this peon scouting in the north, always seeing what's going on, always seeing what the opponent is up to. And Fly looking for the flank, looking to catch the vulnerable Kodos in the back. With the Ensnares flying, that should be some easy kills.
Very nicely done from Fly. At least going to be one Kodo in the Lightning Shield. Again, so much value from these Shamans. One Raider almost going to be traded, but 2 Kodos for 1 Raider is definitely favoring Fly. The towers are up for FoCuS, but they're not getting any value, and the Lightning Shield is getting tons of value on a Grunt now, on a Blade Master now. All the Headhunters are clumped, and all the Headhunters are soon to be dead. A couple of Shamans being traded, so nice pickoffs by those Raiders by that Chain Lightning, but at the end of the day, we're going to have no units left for FoCuS.
Archer is getting closer to 5, and yeah, it's not the greatest scaling hero, but level 3 Wolves are definitely not bad. But FoCuS is dropping down deep now in supply. 25 only left. He's trying to make it away with a speed scroll with the next Hex. This could be the end of the game. I think we're only counting down the seconds here until the Shadow uses the spell. There it is. Heal Potion was used before, but the crits are too big. We have the right clicks coming through. The Ensnare to lock him down. The Farseer going down, and that is the GG. FoCuS will drop map 1. Fly takes the 1-0 lead. He holds the cheese and takes the win.
Holds the cheese, makes the sandwich, and Echo Isles does go to the man himself on our screen. Fly, and map 2 is going to be Twisted Meadows. I'm wondering if we're going to see some more Farseer, potentially from maybe even both players. What do you think, Rima?
Hard question. It seems like Farseer is absolutely highly in fashion, so perhaps could be an idea. It seems also like Farseer TC is a very good counterplay to Shadowhunter Pitlord style, which is also popular with some of the orcs out there, but I think we touched on it earlier. The good maps for that are already out. Terran Stand and AZ, usually the maps for the Shadowhunter because of the Lightning Shield creep mechanic. Those we won't have in. Looking at those vetoes, AZ, LR, TS, and Concealed. Is there a clear narrative there for you? A red thread that you can see that tells us something about these players' psychology in this matchup?
Well, they both vetoed one of the Shadowhunter Pitlord maps. Amazonia vetoed from one, Terranistan vetoed from the other, then Last Refuge at Concealed Hill. Doesn't really tell too much, a little bit of comfort picks. I will say that Echo Isles and Twisted Meadows being on the field, Echo Isles is very standard for these sorts of tower rush cheeses, probably the most standard. And Twisted Meadows is, of course, the old classic for these Farseer Firelords. The originator of this strategy is on this map, Twisted Meadows. That's the card grubby game that everyone knows from way back in the day. They're doing this Farseer Firelord stuff, lacking the Headhunters, but it was still there. So Twisted Meadows, Echo Isles, you know, very much favoring the cheese style, if that's what at least FoCuS seems to be favoring so far.
Yeah, and you know where the first meme didn't deliver? That Fly always loses the Blade Master in the early game. Maybe the second meme will. And what's the second meme? FoCuS always finds the best items. Sometimes it really feels that way. Some games, some tournaments, it just feels like for FoCuS everything is clicking and he gets all the best items, and on Twisted Meadows that can make a massive difference. We oftentimes see the Rock Golem creep at the beginning. If you get Boots of Quel'Thalas there or the Scourge Bone Chimes, ooh baby, are you gonna be in for a treat? And yeah, it's Casino Warcraft. There's so many big items. There's a lot of things out of your influence that can occur here, namely from RNG, namely from items. Who's that gonna favor? How is that gonna look? Is it gonna be a fair drop table? This is always something you have to keep in mind with Twisted Meadows.
Yeah, and the spawns are also very important, not just for that Rock Golem creep, but also just for the position of the shop, for the position of a potential mercenary camp. It's going to really much come into play, and Neo was saying before on the desk that, you know, this matchup can very much come down to items, and if you're talking about one player is going to have the favorable items on such a big map with so many creeps to get items from, it could have a very big impact. We'll have to see if FoCuS is as lucky as he's known to be, but last game it was Fly that was the lucky one, so we'll have to wait and see.
Is ready to load in. Twisted Meadows. Is this going to be the series being tied up, or will Fly make it another 2-0? We've had lots of those already. I wouldn't be opposed to a third map. We're going to be going in just a moment. What are the odds? Are we going to see anything other than Blade Master on Twisted Meadows? I must say, I would be amazed.
Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised. The Rock Golem creep early is so strong, and if you get those Bone Chimes, if you get those Boots of Quel'Thalas, that would be so great for either player, game-changing. So if you don't take that opportunity, it could be very, very rough. And there we see our players, of course, beautiful faces of Fly and FoCuS. And is Fly going to 2-0? Like you said, I'd love to see a third map as well. I think that would be, it'd be nice. It'd be nice for a change. We've had a quick day so far in Asia. So give us a map 3. Give us a map 3, and we're going into map 2 at least for now. This is Twisted Meadows.
And we see the players spawning on opposite side of the map. Of course, that is one of the big random things. One of the very unpredictable things about Twisted. You don't know what the spawning positions are going to look like. Of course, you can scout for it, but at the very beginning, you don't have that information, which oftentimes you need to have a proper build. So you just blindly go for the rock golem creep. This is kind of the gentleman's agreement nowadays between orcs on Twisted. And for that reason, it has to be a Blade Master. So we see 2 more Blade Masters joining the field after a whole slew of Farseers. So this is going to be a little more what we're used to. When we see Blade Master, we're gonna see Shadow second. The question is, are we gonna go into tier 3 or not? Where would you say does the Orc Mirror stand in that aspect nowadays?
Well, again, it kind of comes down to, can you get this level 3 Shadow Hunter early on tier 2? And if you get that, can you hit a clean timing? You pull your peons, you go for aggressive Voodoo Lounge, you know, most of the time try to get a heal scroll very early and then hit a 50 supply timing on your opponent's base. Perhaps with towers is sometimes common. If it comes down to this stalemate position where one player's defending his base and the other player wants to attack, you'll generally see both players just go tier 3 because you don't want to attack when they're already defending, already ready, already have full mana on their Shadow Hunters. So, you know, if it gets to a stalemate position when both players want to just go creep, we're probably going to see tier 3 and it becomes more and more common. And oh my god, we got the bone chimes, but not on the side of FoCuS, on the side of Fly.
Wait, it's 22 Agi. Is that an Agi tome? No, it was an intelligence tome.
Okay.
Agi tome for FoCuS. Then now we're paying attention to very small details, but those tomes can add up over time. The robe, not bad at all. It's a little bit more windwalk in the beginning. It's more mana regions, more mana later for the Shadow. But, well, it's a Scourge Bone Chimes. It is the #1 drop you hope for, especially in Orc Mirror and Fly. It seems like right out the gate gets a decent advantage here.
Yeah, this is an insane item because not only is it good in the early with the grunts and, you know, mid game with the raiders, you know, always with the Blade Master, but going late game, generally Orc Mirror is just going to go into Tauren with Spirit Walkers, and Bone Chimes is amazing for Taurens as well. Fly also had the advantage of having the best spawn, the top left for that rock column creep, and FoCuS had the worst spawn, the bottom right. He had the slowest spawn, and we can see that already affecting the creep route. You know, Fly was about, what, 20 seconds quicker, 15 seconds quicker on his creep route?
Absolutely, and FoCuS with the Ring of Protection. The Blade Master is going for the Warlord right away. Is that something you can only do with a Scourge Bone Chimes?
Yeah, I don't think he would live without Bone Chimes, and the Grunt's not even there to help him. He's gonna blow a Windwalk. Oh, don't let the memes be true. Oh my god, and he gets away. Oh, Jesus, what are you supposed to do if you're FoCuS here? You see this Blade Master, you pull an Infi if you see the items on the blade, you're about to get one of these Knolls stolen as well. What an early game by Fly.
Blade Master showing up out of the shadows. There is dust on Fly, but he doesn't have a speed score anymore, so he can't really chase, he can't really look for the kill. But he got the Quel'Thala's booties, and FoCuS has certainly seen that. Why, if he steals this Null Camp away, he's going to be level 3. Imagine another Claws on top of this inventory already. Fly's cruising.
Oh yeah, and then you get level 3 and you can go into your opponent's Peon line. You can maybe even cancel tier 2. If he were to get it right now, he could go over and cancel tier 2 buildings and be on that Shadow Hunter all day. This is a map, Twisted Meadows, is very hard to creep when your opponent's Blade Master is on top of you. You know, what are you going to take? You can take the expansion, the mercenary camp. It's going to be very difficult. So getting level 3 Blade is crucial for both of these players as early as possible.
Fly, normally known to be exceptional in these early game trades. Usually he has the best early grunt micro in the world. FoCuS also known to be a very good Orc Mirror player though. So far though, it seems to be going all in the Chinese's favor. As tier 2 is finished, we have the Shadows coming up. Raider Walker. This is finally the good old, true, old school Orc style. And FoCuS is a little bit faster with everything.
Yeah, just a little bit on the macro, I suppose, where Fly was a bit quicker on the creeping, FoCuS a little bit quicker on the macro. The real question again comes up, is there going to be tier 3? You can go tier 3 as early as pretty much right now if you want to go for a really greedy tier 3 tech, but we're not likely to see that in this matchup. Was that a last hit? I don't believe so, but the item did go to Fly, and that was a Ring of Protection.
FoCuS stole it. So the experience away that is. That's the 3rd out of 3 rings in the middle, by the way. FoCuS barely gets his grunt out of there. That almost got trapped. That was super close. So FoCuS, palm sweaty, mom spaghetti. This is a stressful early game, definitely. But he's keeping it kind of even. And he's bringing in the shadow. Is he? Wait a minute. Don't tell me he's going to fight into his Scourge Bone Traps. No, he's looking to creep aggressively. I like that. During nighttime, it's hard for the opponent to find you. And creeping that merchant away, hoping for his own Scourge Bone Traps.
Yeah, I think this is a great play from FoCuS. If he gets away with it, this could be very, very devastating if Fly finds him, but I don't think he will. Another ring on the field. Illyria's split of accuracy, not what you're looking for, and the Creep Jack is definitely not what you're looking for as well. And the Shadow Hunter might actually go down here. Speed Scroll popped. There's a Speed Scroll on the Shadow Hunter, but it's Hex. Speed Scroll popped again on the side of FoCuS. He hexes the Blade Master, but he gets hexed himself and he goes down to the other Shadow Hunter.
Against the Raider.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus, this could be the game right here. There's the next hex, and he can't get that one out. Surrounded against the trees. The Raider goes down without a trade. I guess FoCuS at least got the experience and the item which he sold, but Jesus Christ, what a complete disaster. Fly with a monumental lead. So now, it feels like you should just go through the motions now. What's the next step? You have to make sure that you get further and further ahead and win this game the way you're supposed to.
Yeah, you just get that Shadow Hunter level 3. You can either hit a timing. I mean, he could really just harass with the Blade Master. He steals an item there, Fly. Gets the Talisman of Evasion. That is a tanky Blade Master now with all the rings they've been finding. But if he just gets level 3 Shadow Hunter, he knows the Shadow Hunter of FoCuS is not going to be able to do anything because it's in the altar. Just now has come out. So he can hit a clean timing, pull his peons, pull all the boys, get 50 supply, and probably just end the game because the Shadow Hunter is going to be level 2 on the side of FoCuS.
Could also go for the Merchant creep, maybe. Heal self, still looking healthy on the Shadow. He can heal everything back up again. Berserker in the mix. I always am kind of anxious seeing that Berserker. Doesn't that also take away from the necessary amount of Raiders, Kodos, and Walkers you need to have?
It's not normally a good idea to get that in Orc Mirror, especially just because you replace a Grunt with it sometimes if you get it in the early game, and, you know, Grunts hard counter the Troll Berserkers. So, level 2 Shadow Hunter coming in, questionable from Fly, but he's gonna maybe get some value, at least gonna get a Speed Scroll and a Raider out of it, so maybe a nice Creep Jack after all. Almost level 3 Shadow Hunter, maybe a couple more kills, and this will be level 3 against level 1 Shadow Hunter Remo.
And that's really low though, and he didn't bring a mana potion, so even if he gets level 3, maybe he's not gonna have enough mana to use the spell, but he has the heal scroll still, holds on to it for as long as he can. Don't tell me that Raider gets away! Will be slain by the blade, but took another hex to take him out. And Fly still with the heal scroll in the inventory, gets surround on the Walker, trying to show off a little bit, but can't quite take him out right away. And it seems like FoCuS maybe is finding his comeback here. He's going to take out the Berserker as well. That's a lot of experience. However, unfortunately not going to the Shadow. I think the Blade took that all solo, that experience, resulting in FoCuS's first hero almost being level 4. But the cornerstone in the mid game is always a level 3 Shadow Hunter, which Fly will be getting. And if I saw that right, that should be a shop for him, a Voodoo Lounge coming up right there.
Yeah, this could be a beautiful timing. He's got at least one heal wave on his Shadow Hunter Fly, and he's got that shop coming up that you pointed out, and it's still that heal scroll. And right now, FoCuS has the defender's advantage. He's got the closer units when they come in from the production buildings. He's got the shop that's already up. He's got the burrows potentially, but he's also only got a level 1 Shadow Hunter, and here comes Fly again. The Raider a little bit out of position, but this is now going to probably be a kill in the Shadow Hunter. Oh, it almost gets surrounded. The Hex dispelled. The Shadow Hunter gonna run and get Spirit Link. Is gonna try to make it to the shop. Actually, the Shadow Hunter of Fly taking a bit of damage now. Is that a surround? Oh my god, he's gonna lock that in? So close. The peon almost closes it. That would have been game-changing. But Fly sneaks out of that surround. And now the Kodos are both coming in, but only one Kodo is getting focused.
There's still a heal scroll available, by the way. Fly is trying to get the maximum amount of value out of it as much as he can. Everything's passively healing also from the aura. A few more hexes coming in. FoCuS holding here really well, considering he doesn't even have level 2 Shadow. Not even thinking of level 3 Shadow, just level 2 he would appreciate for the first level of Heal Wave. But he's getting pushed back even further. Has to make it back to the shop. All of his grunts super hurt. What he wouldn't do for a Heal Wave right now. But he can't use it. More grunts falling, more Raiders falling. Is FoCuS losing this series here now, or is it going to be an overextension? Fly is going to get, FoCuS, excuse me, 1 kill. He gets the Kodo. doesn't get a unit returned from that, but at least 4 supply taken out of the opponent's side. And 1 grunt there also munched. Fly not quite paying attention to that one. FoCuS still holding, but still at a deficit.
Very nicely done from FoCuS. He had level 1 Shadowhunter that whole time, but I'm afraid Fly didn't go back for clarities the entire time, and now he's going to come back with full mana. But FoCuS, he held so impressively this entire time. Can he do it again? Can he finally get that level 2 Shadowhunter, at least for the level 1 heal wave? Continue to produce, and he does, you know, of course, have the earlier reinforcements, as I pointed out, so that's going to help out quite a bit. But the Kodo gets caught out, and is that the Kodo with the Grunt? It may very well be. Yeah, the Grunt comes back, but it's actually a 1 HP, saved by the heal wave, saved by the Bell, and this is looking like a 2-0 if that Shadowhunter still has mana in the tank.
Yeah, he's got the mana potion, he certainly should. He's also got the clarity. He's going to use these items soon. Level 4 now for Fly. It seemed like FoCuS was going to be the first one to reach that level, but no. It's Fly once again. A bit of Hex to limit the damage. There's a level 2. All right, we've been waiting for it for a long time. Heal wave. Can you save FoCuS? Or is this going to be going to China? It certainly looks like it. Fly still in the driver's seat, but again wants to make sure he's not overcommitting. Behind a push like that, you could think perhaps he may want to go for a tier 3 tech, but he didn't. Fly is also only stuck on tier 2, falls back to the shop again, and must himself be surprised at the resilience that FoCuS is displaying.
Yeah, this has been so nicely done from FoCuS. The burrow was perfectly placed, which helped with the Rock Golem creep earlier to help FoCuS defend there, but his Shadowhunter is still so far away from level 3. If he's able to squeeze out enough time to solo creep the Shadowhunter with the Mercenary Camp, that would get him very, very close. But Fly, of course, without going tier 3, would just continue to pump units with his aggressive shop, is not going to give him any time. And yet again, here's another creep jack. Potential for a couple Kodos to get caught out, but they're just going to trade Raiders. Does this position maybe favor FoCuS right now? But the disenchant was just beautiful from Fly there.
It seems to be about efficiency right now, damage versus healing, and of course there's always going to be more healing with the Scourge Bone Chimes, but the Kodos are very well protected on FoCuS' side. He's trying to come in for a munch, doesn't quite get the Devourer. Fly paying attention this time. There's even some Burrow Spears involved in this. Is he going to go for the Neckbreaker? A kill on the Shadowhunter would finish the game, but no, going for the Kodos first, trying to take them out, of course, is a big deal. It's going to be the Aura missing, and both players going to lose 1 Kodo here by the looks of it. Fly does not have a replacement. And that one, okay, doesn't quite survive. Grunt pops back out of the stomach of the Kodo, but again, will be slaughtered soon after. Blade Master here, super low for FoCuS, by the way. The invul was used before, he has to be careful. That Kodo also goes down, and again, FoCuS just barely holding on by the skin of his teeth. Can he once again repel Fly? It's starting to become madness here. His survival skills matching those of Bear Grylls.
This is an incredible game, but now the Mercenary Camp is going to go. That could come with a greater mana potentially for Fly, and that would be the nail in the coffin. But the Blade Master going to go in and potentially get the steal, but he gets ensnared, but he does get the Potion of Invulnerability, so that's going to help him break out. And maybe this is finally a fight that FoCuS can win, but it looks like he's playing a bit passive. Is there no mana on the Blade Master? Can he not get out of the surround? He's got 25 mana to go before he can get out of the surround, and Fly is just holding position, and he's holding the door, and he might win the series right now with this surround.
Birdling makes him more tanky. There's no Dispel. Fly, this could be the overextension also that costs him his lead. The Blade Master gets out, who stole the invul and the slippers both. And FoCuS might be on his way to a comeback, but supply-wise, we still have Fly in a clear lead. That's going to be another kill for Fly. FoCuS still only at 42. Hero level-wise, we still have a 2-level advantage for Fly. FoCuS honestly has no business still being in this game, but by sheer determination and power of will, he's staying in this. I'm referencing a lot of rappers today, I'm noticing. Got in the groove earlier, still in it. Fly still trying to close this one out. This must be wave number 5 or something like that hitting the main, but FoCuS is still holding. Minute-wise, 15. Okay, it's still going to be a while until we run out of gold, but FoCuS sweating bullets.
This is just hero line wars for FoCuS right now, and the shop again getting so much value for Fly 2 games in a row. And again, another creepjack. Every time FoCuS leaves his base, it's creepjack after creepjack after creepjack, and there's no more invuln to save FoCuS this time. The Raider caught out of position though for Fly. Will he finally overextend? The Shadowhunter has taken a lot of damage, and there's not that level 2 heal wave. Still, it's been, what, 5 minutes of fighting? No level 3 Shadowhunter, Remo, and level 4 is already unlocked for the Shadowhunter of Fly.
Yeah, wonderful Orc Mirror here we're seeing on map 2. 3 Kodos for Fly, trying to get the munch off. At least one was successful. Perhaps a little heavy on the Kodos? We'll see. One will be going down. At least he has replacements. Speed scroll, not quite enough for the save. FoCuS gonna lose his Kodo Beast here at some point sooner or later. It will fall. Blade Master, by the way, closing. Oh, we're going for the Shadow Hunter, and he is gonna get decapitated. I wasn't even ready for that one. I wanted to talk about his level, but finally Fly gets the hero kill. As we said, a hero kill would finish that game in style.